We already know that the red thirst is a genetic flaw in all of the blood angels, but what happened during the Horus heresy that made the red thirst manifest so rapidly amongst the astartes of the 9th Legion, and what happened on Signus Prime that would have turned Sanguinius to the service of the dark gods? Let's find out. Sanguinius arrived at the Cathedral of the Mark to confront both Kyries and Kabanta. The Bloodthirster and the Angel fought once more, but ultimately Sanguinius prevailed and cast the greater demon back into the orb. The Blood Angels then discovered the source of the rage that had infected the entire Legion on Signus Prime, and of course, it started with the source of all the manipulations and corruption within the Legions, the Dark Apostle Erebus of the Word Bearers, who had created a fill device, a psychic construct called the Rage Fire, which contained and was powered by the half-dead body of Captain Tagas, the former captain of the Blood Angels 111th Company, who was presumed killed in action on the world of 142, the planet called Murder by all the Space Marines who had fought there. Through the use of the dark sorceries of chaos, the Word Bearers had created a psychic conduit of undiluted rage that consumed nearly the entirety of the Blood Angels Legion by enhancing the inherent instability of their genetic flow. Driven to uncontrollable rage over the fall of their Primarch, the forces of chaos hoped that the Blood Angels would lose control of their noble aspect and willingly give themselves over to the Scarlet Path and the worship of the Blood God Khorne. In bloody defeat, Kyries the Perverse offered Sanguinius a foul deal. If the Primarch would willingly take the place of the half-dead Tagas within the psychic construct and give himself fully to the Rage Fire, the demon would ensure that his sons would never again be affected by the genetic curse of the Red Thirst. The Primarch seriously considered the demon's offer and finally came to the conclusion that this sacrifice was worth it to save his beloved sons. But before Sanguinius could enter the construct, Miros made the decision for him and leapt into the suspended crystal lattice. Sanguinius threw himself into the air in an effort to save his errant son, but was too late. The apothecary committed the act without uncertainty, for he knew what he did was right. The angel could not fall to chaos if mankind was to survive. When Miros had met the future Blood Angel Sergeant Raffen of the late 41st millennium in the dreamscape of their joint healing blood sleep, the Astartes from the future had said a name, a warning. Only at that moment did Miros fully understand. Sanguinius had to live in order to meet the arch-traitor Horus on equal footing. When that terrible confrontation finally came, the angel had to be there to face him, brother against brother. Before Miros stepped into the device, he forcibly removed his own Bragenoid glands and tossed it towards his Primarch, who snatched it out of the air and requested that Sanguinius take it, so that something of him would live on. The angel vowed to honor his son's final request. With this final act, Miros stepped into the whirling vortex. He transformed, writhing in the grip of an infernal glow as the burning power merged with every atom of his being. The flesh of his face distorted into a hollow mask far beyond the guise of pain. His armor became dark and disfigured, joints steaming, the shell of it trembling as it fought to contain energies never meant to be bound to this reality. In the warp's shadow, a pair of ghostly blood-drenched wings briefly unfolded from the wounded apothecary's back. Then they were gone as Miros' body was possessed by a demon of the blood god. Brother Miros was gone, and in his place was the demonic Red Angel. Confronting the demon-possessed Blood Angel, Sanguinius demanded that the Avatar of Hate release its hold on his son. The Red Angel flatly refused. When the Primarch required if there was any small part of Miros that remained, the Red Angel responded that there was a small trace of the former apothecary. The Primarch told the vile creature to heed his words. Whatever ruinous powers it served, whatever irrational choice Horus had made to seek a pact with them, they stood defeated this day upon the cusp of victory. Sanguinius vowed that Miros' sacrifice would not be in vain, and that one day he would find a way to free him from the demon that now possessed his mortal shell. The Red Angel then took its leave from the Cathedral of the Mark and disappeared into a warp gate that it had conjured. The Blood Angels then completed the purge of the demons on Signus Prime, and even Kyries the Perverse was sent screaming back to the warp at the end of the Angel's sacred blade, cast howling back into the warp to face his master's punishment for his failure. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this, then surely you will enjoy this video talking about the epic battle between Jagatai Khan and the Death Lord Mortarion. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more.